Yeah.
So welcome back to Useless Entertainment. Kyle's Camaro, we did end up buying it. Well, he did. That was a month ago. I think that was September 15th. We filmed that video where we're looking at it in Dean's property. And Kyle here did end up picking the car up for $900. He said it was pretty heavy though.
About 3,000 some pound.
About 3,300 pounds. So, wanted to give you guys a quick update as to what he did to the car because he's been working on it decently. He works on stuff a little bit faster than I do because he's not lazy, or at least not as lazy as I am. So, if you remember what the car looked like down in Harrisburg, off of 6th Street, in the ghetto. It looks pretty much the same as it did on the exterior wise, because absolutely nothing has changed except he broke this emblem off trying to remove it. And I was right. I told you this emblem is supposed to be down here under this strip. And that's because I found out quickly looking at the car a little bit closer that it has been repainted. Fun fact with these junky third gens, they didn't start using base coat clear coat until 86. So they used some kind of urethane or lacquer. I don't think they used enamel. But they used a single stage from 82 to 85. This car, if you look at it, that's clear coat. That's peeling clear coat. That's peeling clear coat. So that's what told me that the car was repainted at one point. But then I started looking at it closer, and I started to find the overspray, like that right there on the rubber strip.
I think they got it on the tags.
They did. I wanted to read the door tag to find out the information, but they got overspray on it because Mako is such a wonderful company. But anyways, like I was saying, he's been slaving away at this thing, and I wrote down a nice little shopping list of stuff that he did. And number one, the first thing he did, which is the best thing that he did, is there's no more bees. I don't know if you remember the first episode, as I was trying to walk around the car, they were flying around my head. And these are mean yellow jackets. I don't know how I didn't get stung, but he found 7 nests.
Yeah, in the mirror, in the tail lights, in the door wedges. If there was a crevice big enough, they were there.
So he brake cleaned their nests and quickly evicted them. The spoiler that was broken off, we actually found the piece in the car, a replacement piece. That was busted off in the initial video. And that was laying on the passenger front floor, which is nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the car that keeps on giving. Steering wheel. We got rid of that. Where's the old wheel? Oh, you gave the old wheel away.
Yeah, I did.
It had that nasty classic Sport Coupe steering wheel. If you know what they look like, you do. If you don't, look one up. They're the ugliest steering wheel known to mankind in all of automotive history. I don't know who is responsible enough for creating that disaster, but I gave him the Z28 wheel out of my 84 Camaro. I painted it silver. He wants to make it black again. Whoa, whatever. But it looks a lot nicer. We fixed the side mirror. The door mirror right here the glass was missing. We found that in the car too.
Yep, sure did.
Found that in there, so we put some silicone on the back side and stuck it on there. The dashboard, if you remember, was destroyed. It was the original dash pad. Somebody tried filling in the cracks and the holes with spray foam. And actually, that's the spray foam mystery. There's spray foam all over this car. It's there on the hood. It's there on the hood. It's on the passenger side. Where else do you find spray foam?
I had spray foam falling out on me when I was trying to do the headlight switch underneath the dash. I was moving the dash around. Spray foam was just hitting me in the face. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, so some hillbilly got happy with a can of spray foam they found at Walmart. And it was for the dash pad. So what he did was he got himself a cap. For how much was the price on the cap, Kyle?
Like 150, 160 bucks, something like that.
It was 150 bucks for the dash cap versus what, 300 plus for a new dash pad?
It was like 370 or 380 bucks.
Yeah, the pads all crack on these cars and they're super expensive to replace. So he got a cap, and you can see the speaker has holes in it versus the actual pad would have grills in it. And the pad is still in there, it's just under this cap.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of these caps, but it doesn't look bad.
I put new speakers in too.
Oh yeah, he bought speakers to put in there.
Redid the light switch.
The doors, they don't creak anymore. They open and they close phenomenally. Hang on, wait. That's closed. Not only is it closed super easy, but they don't rattle afterwards. You can't hear the window flopping around in there like you can on mine. What else we got going on? We greased the doors and we greased the window tracks right away. We pulled the door panels off. We put white lithium grease on all the tracks, on the regulators. The power door locks actually work.
Yeah. Well, except for the passenger one.
Passenger one's lazy.
Yeah.
It's 40 years old. Who cares? And it's a two-door. What do you need powered? You can still hear the actuator try and function. I guess it just doesn't
go far enough.
So, he fixed the gauges. Tried to. Well, yeah, I'd say.
Most of them work.
He had all the gauges out of the car. The tack is still wonky and it doesn't want to work. But, ow.
All the other gauges work fine now.
The temperature gauge kept going up to like 260. It would max out.
Yeah, almost immediately.
He found a bad solder joint on the back. The gas gauge came back to life. It says it's got about, what, 1/8 of a tank. The volt gauge. Does that work when you power up?
Yeah, it's being charged right now, so it comes on.
It's at 13. It's about ready to start, but that's because there's a charger on it. Speedometer, we don't know if it works or not because haven't driven the car.
Nope.
And he broke the metric side of the dial off by accident.
Hey, man.
But he glued it back on.
That's why the super glue sitting on top of the hood.
JB Super Weld. He got a new headlight switch. Put that in because that was just hanging before and it had its own issues.
It didn't work right. You pull it all the way out and the interior lights wouldn't come on.
The interior panels, is this original or is this out of the other car?
No, this is all stuff from the other car.
This is?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of it.
Well, we went to a local junkyard and they've got quite a bit of these third gens in there. And he found an 82-ish Firebird early production car. And the interior panels weren't that bad because his factory interior panels, if you touched them, they disintegrated. They just fell in. So all these panels are out of that Firebird, and the carpeting was, well, what was left of the carpeting didn't exist. So what Kyle here did was, this stuff looks nice, and I really do like the contrast. He's got dark blue here that matches the carpeting, but the panels themselves are like a light blue.
Gray.
A gray blue.
Those are gray. This is blue. I took it out of 2 different cars in the junkyard, actually.
Okay. But this carpeting that he put in here is actually, it's nice shag, and I really can't stop feeling it. It's like petting a cat, really.
Yeah.
So you might ask him, where would you find shag carpeting these days that isn't weathered, and whose grandmother's basement did he find it in? Blue, nonetheless.
Found it at Walmart. It's a shower mat. Cut down shower mat.
Yeah, it's a shower floor mat. But it looks good. It looks really good. The door right here, there is an access door. It's broken off, so he's either going to glue it closed or maybe put a hinge on the backside so it's still functional. But he's in the process of ordering new interior clips so he can put the rest of the interior in. At the junkyard, on that same Firebird I was telling you about, we found an interesting looking set of wheels, aftermarket. The real version of the wheels they're Western Cyclone wheels. These are more of a knockoff company. I can't remember what they were. They're 2 different versions. We found these. That is a 14-inch for the front. It's a 14 by 7. And then the rears are 15 by 8s. The 14s are, well, there's the company right there. Superior Industries, Van Nuys, California.
The back one's not a Superior.
14 by 7. And then I don't know what the back one is. I can't. I'm not even worried about the company name.
It doesn't have a company name on this one.
So it's a Chinese knockoff, whatever.
Yeah, it's a 15 by 8.5.
But anyway, we got all 4 of these off that Firebird. See, 14 for the front, 14 by 7, and then 15 by 8 in the back. How much you pay for the wheels?
$20 a piece. $80 for the set.
$80 for the set. All 4 wheels, $80. I also picked up a spare set of T-tops for $40. Here's the thing, these 3rd gens, when you look at them on Marketplace, when you're looking for cars or parts themselves, these 3rd gen owners think they're Mopar owners. The prices they have on things are ridiculous. If you look for a set of T-tops on Marketplace, you're looking at like $250. Maybe $150 if you get lucky. He got an entire spare set off that Firebird. What'd you pay aside?
$20 a side, man. $40.
$40.
They got bad seals on them, but
Yeah,
if you're gonna use them to replace the ones that are on your car,
the seals are junk, but they sell all that shit.
hell, if you break one off of your car, you can just use the seals
Right.
on them. It's not like the seals shattered.
So $40 for a set of T-tops, $80 for a set of wheels. We were debating about putting red interior in it. I had a spare set, but he decided to stick with the blue interior, hence the blue carpeting. Oh, he wants to tell you his special story about the front grills on the car, because there's 2, one on each side. When we pick the car up, there's a light back there that's not factory, but there's 2 sides to the grill, and it had the driver's side was still in it when we picked the car up, and it made it all the way to his house from Harrisburg to Perry County on a car trailer, getting jostled around, banged around, you know, every pothole around here. It's been sitting in his garage for, I don't know, what, 3 days?
Something like that.
And then, what happened?
So I came out here. I got a mini fridge up over there, and grabbed myself a beer out of the fridge, cracked it open, took a sip out of it, just standing here for like a couple seconds. And all of a sudden I heard something fall onto the ground and shatter. So I was like, oh man, what was that? Went over and looked around where I heard it, and yeah, the grill just fell out of the car and hit the ground and shattered.
The grill just decided to fall out of the car and smash on the ground. It could have fell out at any point in time during transition, but no.
And I got the...
Oh yeah, he found a bunch of interesting stuff in the console. Get out of the light here. 1982 Chevrolet. New car warranty information, except California, because everything in California is cancerous.
And different.
Right. We got the original owner's name. Warren P. Bladen. Senior. We got his address. Let's go stalk this guy. And then we got his address. It's May 21st of 82, and the car had 25 miles on it when he bought it.
And it's an original Pennsylvania car.
Yeah. So, being that it's an original PA car, they built these F-bodies 2 places. They built them in Norwood, Ohio, which closed down in August of 87, and then they built them in Van Nuys, California. Being that we're on the East Coast, and PA's here in Ohio is right next door, it's definitely an Ohio car. Which doesn't really matter, but it's just
Nice
cool
to know.
Yeah. What else is in that package? Anything?
It's just like the car manual and stuff. That was the only like owner information that was in there. I put it in the bag because it's all disintegrating.
Yeah.
But that's just the
Dick's Chevrolet Olds 7 East Main Street, Box 128, New Freedom, PA.
and then that's the actual owner's manual.
Hey, look, that one's got Berlinetta wheels on it. Kind of looks like the Cyclones you picked up.
Kinda. But that's all disintegrated. But that's just the owner's manual.
That's cool, though.
Let's know where it came from.
The 305 that's in it, he eventually wants to replace, but we're going to see how well we can get it running for the time being. Cruise control's busted out of it. Diaphragm's no good. In true Perry County fashion, he wants to delete the AC because, well,
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and he don't use AC even if it does work.
Get it out of the way.
There's a bunch of vacuum hoses on this car that just disintegrate when you touch them. Literally, they just busted into pieces. He's looking for them.
I got a whole handful of them.
Yeah. Look, it just a piece fell in the bucket right there. So yeah, there's a lot of vacuum lines that need to be either replaced or deleted. And there's a lot that are redundant on these early 80s emission systems that we can just get rid of. It's still got the electric quadrajet carburetor on it, which runs. Yeah, that was from the washer bucket.
Disintegrated.
It's still got the electric quadrajet on it that runs really good, minus the vacuum leaks. On the idle circuit, the car runs like shit, but if you bump the carburetor just a little bit past the idle circuit, it runs good. And if you give it gas, the throttle response is incredible for, you know, an untouched quadrajet that's, who knows the history of maintenance. If you want, we could fire the car up in a minute. But eventually, like I was trying to say, is he wants to find a 350 that we can put in it. Nothing extravagant or crazy. We'll probably go with an early 90s truck motor. Maybe keep the swirl port heads. Maybe put an aftermarket set on. This is all open to interpretation right now.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. Depends on how much everything's going to cost in the long run.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's not hooked up. This is just, it's barely on. Yeah, it just falls right off.
All the hoses are like that, man. Like, that's just sitting on there. There's like no resistance.
The fact that it runs as well as it does in that condition is mind-boggling on its own. So I think I'm going to go take a break for a second, and then maybe we'll fire this thing up and see how it sounds. Alright, so we're going to start this thing up for you. But as you can see, Kyle still has his naked taillights. No stripe. Ugh. Hey, look, he's pumping the brakes. All the lights work on the car, except their Versys. We just capped off a few vacuum leaks that we found off camera. That's what our break was about. One, I had to take a leak. Two, we wanted to cap off some vacuum leaks. Go ahead, Kyle. Give it a fucking, give it a start. Look at that.
What's wrong?
We capped off the vacuum lines and it's running really smooth. Really smooth.
Except for as long as 3,000 horse down.
You're good. You can let it go for a second. It smells rich, but not really rich. It's running really healthy. It's never ran this good. We capped off, what, 3 vacuum leaks? We capped off 3 vacuum leaks.
3 or 4.
The car is running by itself. It's running by itself with no foot on the gas. There's not a flutter to it. Smooth. It's good. As you can see, if I give it gas, it's instantaneous response. It doesn't bog, it doesn't cry, it doesn't carry on. The secondaries are working, I can hear that. You got no lag to this thing. You can go ahead and kill it. It's got no lag to it. It's running really happy. They call them quadribogs, but it's not bogging, it's not carrying on, it's not singing. Instant throttle response. The car's not shaking or vibrating at base idle with no foot into it. I'm almost curious what would happen if we let it actually warm up, but it's semi-low on oil, which doesn't matter for idle, but the transmission's also low, and I don't want to keep the pump turning having a low transmission fluid. You can hear all the heat shields expanding and contracting, and it sounds like it's low on antifreeze. You can hear some kind of water, something flowing through the radiator. Don't crack. Well, it's not hot enough yet.
We're not cracking the radiator, just the reservoir.
What's in the tank?
Oop, it sucked it dry.
It sucked it dry. So it's low on antifreeze. That's what that noise was.
There was shit in it. Now it's empty.
But it runs really good. Even though he wants to change the motor eventually, I think we can pull something together with the one that's in it.
Run it for a while.
Yeah. My biggest concern is the timing chain. As I always emphasize on the channel, all the GMs, the Fords, the Chryslers, they all come with the nylon coated cam gear. And this thing, even though it's only got 75,000 miles on it, it's got the age, the 40 years. The nylon's going to be hard, cracked, brittle, break off. So we might throw a timing set at it and see what it does. So that's going to wrap this episode up. The reason you're getting this episode now and nothing else like Cutlass related videos is because sneak peek to next episode, the motor's actually out of the car right now, and that isn't a joke. I really wish it was April 1st, but it's not. It's like October 19th. So, yeah. The Cutlass has got like 300 miles on it, and it's got a rod knock, like really loud. So, I had to pull the motor out of it. And if you guys remember, I didn't build the bottom end of that engine. The machine shop did. Oh yeah, look, hey, actually, you want a sneak peek? That's a picture on Kyle's phone. Look, there's no motor inside the car. That's me right there and the motor in the air. And the car would be like over there somewhere. So, yeah. Cutlass motor go boom. I'm not thrilled. I'm not happy. We didn't beat on it. We didn't drag race it. It's got 300 miles on it. And it said, knock, knock, who's there? So I pulled the motor out last Wednesday with Kyle.
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday. It took us 2 days. We took our time. And I'm taking it down to the machine shop tomorrow. So that's that, and that's what's going on. So wait for that video. That's in the works right now. I'm still filming on and off with that. And you'll get that one next. Until then, have a good night. Have a good day. I'll see everybody later.